Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey or reading that black library fiction you've got clogging up your bookshelf. Today we're going to be looking at a very special book to me. I think this is personally probably my favourite Age of Sigmar book, full stop. And this is 8 Lamentations, The Spear of Shadows by Josh Reynolds. So let's talk a little bit about what this book is. Now, you might notice as well that in my little video I did beforehand that I mentioned this is one of the great places, I guess, to start reading about Age of Sigmar lore. And the reason I think that is because this book really does explore the mortal realms like no other book I've read does properly. It really shows you very different parts of different mortal realms. It shows you life in them, shows you lots of different characters, and really ties it all in with a fantastic story at the heart of it. And so the whole premise of the 8 Lamentations, as I've said in the previous 8 Lamentation book reviews I've done, is that there are these 8 artifacts that Khorne created with mighty untold power by these foul blacksmiths that created them. And effectively the smith god Grungi, I'm pretty sure I've got that right. I probably have it wrong. I hope I've got it right. If I've got it wrong, forgive me. It's late when I'm recording this one. But there's the smith god of the dwarves that has put together this team, and he's trying to get these 8 Lamentations together to sort of remake them in a much better image, not these destructive weapons. And so he gathers a team which contains all manner of different people, from a fire slayer to a human gunsmith to a mercenary warrior human to a knight of the realm of life who's blessed by a Lariel, who rides a demigriff and has like this weird leaf blade, and some other fantastic characters besides that as well that all follow in this sort of almost Fellowship of the Rings type story where they set out with this quest to destroy something and gather something. Definitely though, throughout the whole story, my favourite character is the main character, Volkner. He's just a fantastic character who really at the start of it isn't quite sure of his place and isn't quite sure why he's been picked by this god to do what he's doing, but really sort of just grows into his role as this god blessed hero and goes into service of the smith god and fulfills many tasks in the smith god's name. The characters certainly do feel real. There's a vast different majority of characters with different ideals, different goals, different ambitions, and different wants and needs as well. And the story does a really good thing of showcasing them all and making sure every character gets their limelight, including the villains within the book, and really brings together some characters you might not otherwise think should fight together to do these fantastic sort of memorable scenes throughout the entire book. The story does keep you guessing throughout. There are just so many twists and turns and little tidbits of information all over the mortal realms and all about different things that really this book just keeps on going and going with fantastic plot hooks every page you turn. My favourite part of the book would be when they get to something called Shorgul, which is a city on the back of a giant worm. It's just such a cool concept that I couldn't possibly imagine, like these effectively these giant worms, they eventually eat like entire civilizations as they move over them and swallow up these civilizations whole, and they're just unstoppable forces. They're just so gigantic. I mean, there's this entire city built on its back called Shorgul, and it's not the only one of these worm cities they tell you about. They say there are multiple of these worm-backed cities out there. Scenes that made me feel stronger. I mean, there's some great scenes in the end when everything's sort of wrapping up from the initial story and you really start to get a lot of the characters' feelings. I won't spoil too much there, but the end of the story really ends with some really great, I guess, repercussions for many of the characters within it. Definitely a lot of scenes involving Volkner, the main character, as he's growing into his role as sort of this de facto leader of the party that he is. Are really great to just show him evolving as a character throughout the book. Emotions that I feel, I mean, the book is, you're just wowed by this book. I mean, the emotions is excitement. I was excited to read every page of this book and just explore more and more of the mortal realms as I did so. And there's definitely some really great feelings at the end where you sort of feel in almost, to take a quote out of Linkin Park, I would say, in the end it doesn't even matter, is sort of an idea you get at the end, and you get, when you read the book, you'll get exactly what I mean by that. And yeah, as mentioned previously, this book just continues to grip and grip. Sorry, I got something in my eye. Of course I do while I'm recording. The book continues to grip and grip you. Every page, it just will not let up. It's just page to page is absolutely fantastic and keeps me wanting to read more and more. Personally, I would recommend this book to nearly anyone getting into Age of Sigmar. Once again, I recommend it to new people, mainly because it just shows you the mortal realms in such an expansive way and shows you all these different things that you can learn about the mortal realms over time. I don't really think there's much I would honestly change about this book. I think it's fantastically done. I think all in all, there's just so many great characters and memorable characters as well throughout the book that you'll get to like and hopefully read more stories about as you go on. And yeah, this book is definitely great for anyone new getting into, but definitely older people wishing to learn more about the mortal realms and wishing to explore them more. It predominantly features in the realm of beasts, so which is really cool. You do see some quite cool scenes with showing how the realm of beasts works. Within the book, there's a great scene where we see an old Fire Slayer lodge, and you get the idea that Fire Slayers actually lived in trees as well, and it shows how like the realms can change all these races, which is really, really cool. For me though, definitely mark out of 8 realm stones. I personally rate this 8 out of 8 realm stones. Like I said, this is probably my favourite Age of Sigmar novel there is out. Josh Reynolds continuously writes fantastic Age of Sigmar fiction, I think, and this book is no exception. Nearly every time you go on Facebook and I see someone post a comment or post the make the post of like what book should I read, this is always one of the ones that pops up. This, City of Secrets, I think are 2 of the best books you could ever read in Age of Sigmar, and I thoroughly recommend anyone go out there and give this book a read. So we hope you enjoyed the video. If there's any Black Library books you'd like us to review in the future, please do let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget also to like the video and subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with all the Black Library reviews that we do in the future. A special thank you to all the people though who support the channel on Patreon. You're all fantastic people. Thank you so much to our Sinful Guard Militia, Christian Weir, Philip Ward, Chaos Spawn and Soren, and our Sinful Free Guild Regiment members James and AJC. Thank you so much for your additional support for the channel. If you'd also like to help more and support the channel on Patreon, you can do so by following the link down in the description of the video down below. Lastly, in the description as well, you'll find a link to our Discord server where you can come in and make your requests even more heard about what you'd like to see us review from Black Library over there. But also, you can come chat with me and other members of our fantastic community there. But that's it for today, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the video. Once again, stay safe, stay well. Most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. And also, read those books on your goddamn shelf.